Let's talk about SAM units or anti-air units in the game. SAM units always show this kind of rhombus in the heavy weapons column. This means that SAM units can only use heavy weapons against flying units such as helicopters, be it in a high stance or low stance, and air support. They attack such units in the regular way, so you use the regular rules for firing against an enemy target, and then you resolve the attack. Now, before seeing SAM units in action in a real scenario, I want to talk very briefly about air support markers like these ones. Air support markers basically are very similar to regular units. They have small arms value here on the left and a heavy weapon value here on the right. You can decide to use both for any kind of target, so you might use small arms values also against tanks or vehicles. And they have also an intrinsic defensive value here on the right hand side. It's the shield. So it's -3 here and -2 in this case, in the case of the Su-25. And they are always on the action track. And once you use them, you pay the relevant cost, like for example 8 if I wanted to use this A10 small arms value. And you pay the relevant cost and you put them on the map to to target a unit. Once you've used them, you put them back on the map in a new position, of course, because you have to take into account the number of APs you've used. So in this case, if I use the small arms value, I have to move 8 boxes down the track. So here. This means that I'd be able to use again this kind of air support only the next turn, so when it will be turn 2, when my cube, my action track cube, will reach again this position, okay, the 32 box. It means that from now on I'll be able to use this air support again whenever I want, as long as my cube has reached the position of the air support I want to use. Now let's pretend we're in a scenario where the Russian player has on the map 2 different SAM units. This one, you can tell by the rhombus here in the heavy weapons column, and this one, which is a vehicle, a Shilka, again with SAM capability here. And the Shilka is in Overwatch, you can tell by the red cube. The blue player wants to attack this unit here, this infantry unit, and he wants to use an air support. So he wants to use this A10. Now he'll have to pay the relevant costs in APs. The blue player decides to use the small arms column, so he will pay 8 APs. So I pay my 8 APs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll take from the action track my marker, my air support marker. I'll put it on my target, which is this one, the infantry unit. Now what might happen is that I have on the map a SAM unit, an enemy SAM unit that is in Overwatch, like in this case, in the case of this Shilka. This means that before checking the result of my attack on the infantry unit, of the attack of the air support on its target, the air support can be shot at by the SAM unit being in Overwatch. So before resolving this attack, I might, if I want, it's not of course compulsory, having a SAM unit in Overwatch, I might decide to attack the air support before it attacks my unit, my other unit. So I simply use the regular uh, fire attack, just like with regular units. The rules are the same. So I check the range 12. I pay the relevant cost, which is 6. So I go to my action track, and the Russian player will pay is 6 points. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'll roll the dice. I'll check if there are any modifiers. In this case, let's see, the blue support, air support, as a -3 intrinsic defensive value. So I will have to change the base color, which is red. I will change it to 1, 2, 3 to gray. So I'll be using the gray dice. I roll the die and I see what happens. The air support might get some damages. In this case, it aborts immediately the mission and goes back to the action track. Otherwise, if no damage occurs, the air support can start its attack. So let's pretend that nothing happened and the air support attacks the infantry unit. Notice that the other SAM unit won't be able to attack, at least not so far, because it wasn't in Overwatch. Okay, but after the air support has attacked its target, so let's say that I attacked already my infantry unit using the small arms value, and now I'm about to go back home to exit the map. In this case, though, the SAM units, even if they don't have an Overwatch cube, they can try and attack the air support. So after attacking its target, the air support unit can be targeted by any other enemy SAM units on the map that haven't got the Overwatch cube. So in this case, I'll try to do it. I check my heavy arms column to see the values I need to take into consideration attacking the air support unit. In this case, the range is 15, the cost would be 4, and the base die color is green. Once again, I have to check if there are any modifiers due, for example, to intrinsic defensive value. In this case, yes, I still have the -3, so I will have to apply it to the green color. -3 means that if I go to the dice console, starting from the green color, -3 would be 1, 2, 3, white. So I'll have to use the white color. I roll the dice and see what happens. Whatever happens, the air support at this point will be able to exit the map and go back on the track, on the action track, precisely where the blue cube, in this case, the cube of the player that has used the air support is. So in this case, it's box number 29. So I'll put it here in box 29, and this kind of air support won't be available again until the next turn, when the blue cube, in this case the cube of the player that owns that support, reaches again the box where the air support is. So I'll have to wait another turn. So if it's turn 2, I'll have to wait turn 3. When my cube reaches the 29 box, I will be able to use this air support again whenever I want, after the blue cube has reached box 29 in this case. Okay, remember that air supports can get damage, so you might have a support with one physical damage counter or two physical damage counter, depending on the kind of damage you've suffered during your mission, or even morale damage, like this one. Many units have special abilities in the game. Special abilities are always shown on the counter of a unit. They have an icon within this kind of pentagon shaped symbol. Special abilities are not for free. You always have to pay the cost in APs to activate them. You always pay 1 AP to activate a special ability, no matter what kind of ability you're activating. They all cost the same, so always 1 AP. And then you can use them. You can use them multiple times. For example, we have here the Airborne special ability, its icon. We have the Amphibious special ability here. We have the squad drones ability here, and we have the stealth ability here. Now let's go have a look how they work. The water ability means that a unit having the water ability icon is able to move in water access like these ones. You can tell by the water icon. So they can move through this axis, activating, of course, the special ability, spending 1 AP. Once they've spent 1 AP to activate the ability, they can move through water axis, or also move from a land axe like this one to a water axe, and vice versa, from a water axe to a land axe. Remember that vehicles with water ability are able to fire while they're moving in water, while infantry units being transported by these vehicles won't be able to fire. Airborne special ability. Now sometimes you have units with airborne special abilities starting a scenario off the map, like in this case. You might use the special ability, and these units can be transported in any point of the map, as long as it's a legal access. So not in the water, for example, but most of the in most of the axes of a map, spending the special ability cost, which is 1 AP. So you activate them and you parachute them everywhere on the map, and then you use them just like any regular unit. You can do this once though, so you can parachute your units only once per game. The squad drones ability. How does it work? It can be very, very useful, and it can be used in two ways. The first way to use it is eliminating nearby units' overwatch cubes. Like in this case, for example, I've got a unit with this squad drones ability here, a Japanese infantry unit with this ability here. And if I activate it, if I spend the 1 AP to activate the special ability, I can eliminate any overwatch cubes within 2 axes from the squad drones unit. So in this case, I could eliminate, for example, this cube, because it's within 2 axes, 1, 2. But I wouldn't be able to eliminate this one, because this is further away. It's 3 axes away. Neither could I eliminate this other overwatch cube. It's too far away. But if, for example, I had a situation like this one, eliminating this overwatch cube would enable my nearby units, like this one and this one, to assault or get closer anyway to this enemy unit without being fired at during the action phase of the Japanese player. The other way I can use this special ability is guiding artillery fire. Because if I activate the special ability of squad drones, what happens is that the drones will tell me where the enemy target is located, so they will be used as spotters. So I won't need any spotter to spot the enemy targets, and there won't be any dispersion. I simply have to roll the die and check if I caused any damage to the target unit. So for example, let's say that I have a unit hidden here, for example. Now this unit can't be seen by any other Japanese unit here. It's hidden because there are lots of obstacles and cover terrain access that hinder the loss of the nearby enemy units. But if I have, like in this case, a unit with this special ability, I can activate it spending 1 AP, and the enemy unit that is currently hidden is basically spotted by my drone. So I can guide the artillery fire to the target, and it will hit for sure the target X, so I don't have to check for dispersion. The stealth special ability. The stealth special ability is very useful when I want to get closer to an enemy to assault them, for example. But I have some enemy units in Overwatch that might fire at me while I'm trying to get closer to the target unit. So in this case, for example, I got this unit with a stealth ability, special ability, that wants to assault this other unit, but getting closer, it might activate the reaction of this overwatching enemy units, or even this further away enemy unit that is in Overwatch 2. So to avoid that, I might activate the special ability, the stealth special ability, paying 1 AP to activate it, and then I would move close to the target. In this case, being a stealth unit, this unit and this unit that are in Overwatch don't see me, so they won't be able to fire, and I can carry on my assault to the enemy unit.